Hello everybody, this is Jayden, and today we have to unbox and set up is the new for 2024 Dr. Payne by Techie from Party City. This is one of my favorite animatronics across the board this year. This is such a unique animatronic to add to your circus scenes. We've never seen a fire-breathing clown or just a fire-breathing prop before in retail, so I'm really excited about this. Just picked this up today from Party City, along with a couple of other smaller things that I'm excited to show you guys. So up here at the top we have his instructions, a tool to help you disassemble him at the end of the season, and his adapter. When you look in the box right here, this is what the inside looks like. Piece of cardboard protecting his face. I'm not sure what I can pull out. Actually, I can pull this out. And this is his body. And there is his face. Let's go ahead, take this bag off of his face. And look at that. He looks really cool. I am really excited for this. So I don't think he has his arms wrapped up in here. No, his arms are not wrapped up in here. So there's his jacket. And he actually has square pull connections in here with some pretty decently thick metal, which is nice to see. That is a nice quality structure part from Party City and Techie. Really pleased to see that. That is awesome. There's his fog hose and wiring coming out of the inside of him right there. It's like his face down there safely. This box right here, I don't know what this is. It's crushed, but it just sounds like it's his leg poles, so that'll be fine. Like his leg poles right there. Here we have his base. His base is pretty hefty. It's got some pretty solid welding on it, nothing too shabby. It's a square tube base, so this is going to be really sturdy when using this outdoors for Halloween. This is not an outdoor rated product, so I do not recommend leaving it outside unless it is just for Halloween day or if the weather is going to be nice, as this probably will fade or it can get damaged in the rain or wind if it does fall. Here is the fire stick with his hand attached. His hand is really nice, and I love his nails. You see there, his nails are there, and the new upgraded wire harnesses Techie does that are really nice. I really love the wire harnesses they do. Here are the two shoes. And down here is his stationary hand. As you can see here, his really long, sharp nails. I really like those. And then his pants with the hip ring in there. And then you have the fog nozzle attachment and the fog wire and the fog trigger that sends a signal from Dr. Payne to your fog machine when it needs to go off. So that is everything that is in his box. Let's get everything out, make sure I have everything, make sure you have everything, and we'll get to his setup. Here is everything that Cthulhu comes with. You have his various leg supports right here. One with the control box, two regular straight poles, one bent one. You have the torso module that does have the mechanism and a spring on it. This is the part for his fire hand, his sensor, his stationary arm with the foam padding on it, the various accessories you need for your fog machine. It has adapters if your fog machine has this end or if it has this end, and there's your nozzle to attach. There is his pants that does have the hip ring up inside. His two hands, one stationary, one with the fire stick. His jacket, the baggie that does have his instructions, his adapter, and a tool to help you take him apart at the end of the season. His feet, his base, and Dr. Payne himself with his undershirt, fog hose, and a wire coming from inside, and his hat and hair are already pre-attached. Those are all of his pieces. Let's get to his setup. The first thing you're going to do is locate your poles labeled A and B, snap lock those into the base to their accorded spots, and then slide on over the shoes, ensuring that they are facing the side that does have the pins sticking up out of the ground on the sides over there. Next, let's locate our poles labeled C and D and snap lock those on. After locating your other two poles, go ahead and slide on over the pants, and now would be a great time to locate your sensor and attach that Velcro point to the position that is going to be on the inside of the costume, and Velcro it down there and plug in the wire before you forget, because I know I will. Next, go ahead and snap lock your motor part labeled E and F, and go ahead and plug in that wire labeled L to the control box. Now we can go ahead and locate Dr. Payne's body and snap lock that on here at the top. After snapping on Dr. Payne's body, go ahead and locate your wire labeled N that will be coming out of his body to power all of the lighting up there down to the control box to ensure that gets power. Now we're going to lay him down on top of his box to finish the rest of his assembly. After very gently laying down Dr. Payne, go ahead and elevate him just a little bit and lay his red suit on over the top of the box with the black part facing up, so that way we can feed his arms through his sleeves and connect him to the joints on the sides. When attaching Dr. Payne's arms, make sure you have the arm with the foam padding on the side facing the back of his head, and that you have the arm with the spring facing the front of his head. Now let's go ahead and attach his hands, ensuring we have the stationary hand on the straight arm and the arm with the fire stick on the bent arm. When attaching the arm with the fire stick, make sure you run the cable through the sleeve and inside the undershirt down to the control box, matching M to M. When doing this, ensure that none of the cloth or the wiring is caught in the spring. After you stand him up, I would recommend getting on a step ladder anyway, just to ensure that none of that is in the way, because this arm is all gravity fed. So if something is in the way, it will prevent this arm from springing up at its intended time. Now let's go ahead and stand him up. After standing Dr. Payne back up, it would be a great time to go ahead and attach the Velcro strips on the side of his red suit. Now let's go ahead and locate his adapter and take a look at his control panel. Dr. Payne has 3 modes, one being on, where he will work off both his sound sensor and his IR sensor, off, where you can use them on a step pad or any other external triggers, or motion only, where he will only work on the IR sensor. Dr. Payne here can also be hooked up to larger speakers if you do love his audio enough, or if you don't like the quality of his audio, you can definitely put in another speaker. There is the jack for the other trigger. He can also run on 4 AA batteries, which is awesome, so you can be very versatile with him where you put him. You don't necessarily have to have an outlet, but I do recommend using an adapter because sometimes the batteries in these props do run pretty quickly. If you do plan to use the optional fog capability, go ahead and plug in your wire labeled P right here and plug that into the back of your fog machine using the adapters to see which one fits your fog machine best. I'm going to go ahead and flip him to on, and now we're going to watch him go. And here he is, all set up and ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, step right up if you dare. Don't be afraid. Come closer. My scorching flames will burn a hole into your soul.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the new for 2024, nearly 10-foot tall Dr. Payne fire-breathing clown by Techie, sold at Party City. I absolutely love this animatronic. This is without a doubt one of my favorites for this season. His voice, the dialogue, the music, the audio, just the way it was composed was done so well. I love his appearance. I love the just overall design of this character. I think he was done really well. I love the fire-breathing design that they did with him. We don't really see, actually we haven't seen any fire-breathing animatronics in retail. And as far as I can remember, I don't think we've seen one in pro either. It's usually actors for the most part that are doing it. It's usually haunted houses. If they do something like this for a circus, they have an actual fire-breathing actor. We've never really seen an animatronic, either retail or pro that I can recall.
of a fire-breathing prop. I think this is absolutely awesome. I love that retail is doing more and more circus props that are not just clowns. We've been getting a lot of really neat ones this year across all retailers. Like we have Barnaby the Bear, we have the Sword Swallower, we even got Monty a couple years ago. It's progressively getting better and better with the circus props and not just another clown slapped on a torso turning mechanism. I absolutely love this guy. I believe he is built really, really well. I really do like how the construction is done. The square tubed base is much sturdier, much stronger. The square tubed legs is much sturdier, much stronger. I have ran him through quite a bit and absolutely no issue. I see it holding up for a pretty long time. Everything seems to be made pretty well. I've even watched the motor that is inside of him that makes the torso tilt back. I think that was done pretty well. It's a very small mechanism. It's a lot smaller than I was expecting, but that thing is a tank. Even just the little part of the motor, it's a pretty hefty piece. It's heavier than a lot of other animatronic parts. I didn't expect it to be that heavy. As a matter of fact, I even dropped it and it made a very loud sound and I was really, really scared I broke it, but it's perfectly fine. Absolutely, not even a scratch on it. I love his face sculpt. His face sculpt is really, really good. I love his eyes. I love just everything about him. He's a really, really good prop. I really, really love him. He is $329.99. I feel that is worth it. He is much taller than you will expect. For those of you who have been following along for a while, you do know I was invited by Party City to their headquarters to see their new animatronic lineup in person. And this was my favorite as soon as I saw it there, and it was much taller and I thought it was gonna be. And even though I've already seen it in person, even finally having one for myself and having it set up and seeing it again, it is much bigger than I remember. It's he's going to be a real showstopper with his audio, his music. His music is one of my favorite things about him. Pretty sure I've said it already. I'm gonna say it again. I love his audio. It's composed really well. If you have the opportunity to grab this guy, I highly recommend him. His box is a lot smaller than I expected. It breaks down quite a bit for storage, nice and compact, very easy to put together. It comes with everything you need, except for the fog machine. He comes with his adapter, the fog adapters, all of your structurally and wire needings that you need for this guy. Overall, he is awesome. If you have the opportunity to grab him, I highly recommend him. Go out there and grab yourself a Dr. Payne. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe.